What's up, guys? Today I want to debunk some of the biggest myths there are out there when it comes to trading and forex trading overall, which is the use of stop loss or not stop loss. A lot of people say that if you do not use a stop loss in your strategies, the first thing you're going to do is blow up your account and you're crazy or this or that, but actually not. Well, for me personally, one of the best things that ever happened to me was actually not use stop loss in my trades. That gave me more profits long term, believe it or not. And I know what you're going to say, oh my God, but how are you going to be safe like that, etc.? Calm down. Okay, there's a lot to be covered. It's not that simple. It's not just don't use stop loss and you guarantee profits. It does not exist. Okay, that being said, let's close the trades off today. So as you can see here, guys, let me put the thing up. I have all of these trades open from these past days, these past weeks. And what I'm going to do today, I'm going to close the positive ones and let the negative ones to do their own thing. So we have USD CHF, closing that, 431. 7.43 on USD CAD, 7.42, I'm sorry, 820, 785, 250, 430. We have 956 on GBP USD. We have 1834 on Euro USD. Let me go back to Euro USD just so y'all know what's happening on Euro USD. This is Euro USD. Okay, so I have 0.02 in this higher high right here. I have selling position on another 1.16072, and the market went down, so it went into my favor, which was good. And then I had placed another sell here, so I'm going to close the profit one right here. The strategy I'm using currently is kind of like a gradient, like a linear gradient strategy type thing, but it's really not that alone. Well, actually what I do is the mix of things. Okay, so let's close that. 834 on Euro USD, then have 650 in Euro UD, and have 380 on Euro AUD again, 209 on EOD CAD, 275, 282, 343, 250, 334, 240. 165. I think it's not enough, but you know what? I'm gonna close that too. I'll close that, and also the 353 and the 275. Okay, so check out the history trades. This is since I started, which was April 28th, all the way up to now. Okay, 115, 763, 390, 217, 292, 6.57. 143, and just keeps going. Okay, 1150. I closed a few losses here and there, then went back again to profit. 1079, 242, 141, 531, 194. Then I had a few losses again, then again another gain, then another deposited some money, then another win, and just keeps going. Okay, and I want to show you another thing, which is the trading report of this account all the way up to now. So I'm gonna go up here to right click on it, then go report, HTML, and I'm going to save it so we can see it together. Okay, so pretty much this is the trading accounts that we're doing for the challenge of this channel, right? Which we're growing a little small account just to prove that it's possible to grow even starting with very little money. Okay, and this is the same principle with regardless of how much money you're gonna start with. Okay, that's pretty much what I do, and those are all of the trades that I have since I started the account, which is a lot of trades. Like you see that most of the trades are 0.01, but I'm opening a lot at the same time because I'm diversifying. Okay, so just keep going down, keep going down. If I go even further, you're gonna see more profits. This was a little deposit that I had, and now a little bit of profit from the market again, because this account is very recent. So there is not even, it doesn't even have 3 months yet. It has 2.5 months, almost 3 right now, but it's super new. And as you can see, I have a 300 of profit, recovery factor of 70.86, short trades 141, which is 95%. Okay, the maximum drawdown was 4.24, right? So y'all can see pretty much everything. The average loss trade is 1.98. The average profitable trade, the average profitable trade is 4.15. So the average winning is 4.15 versus 1.8 of loss. So I'm very positive now. And the largest profitable was 18, and then the largest loss was 1.98. So as you can see, it's very profitable right now, and I have 80 trades. So like I said, guys, I only started having profits genuinely, after one of the things I stopped doing, at least on some of my strategies, is not use stop loss. Because what happens is that most of the times, the market, once you open a trade, when you have a strategy and then you use a stop loss, for example, and then say it's a strategy bought from a course or somebody told you online or whatever, and if you put that stop loss, a lot of the times what happens is the market moves against you a little bit and then it goes to take profit. So what happens is this. Say you have the trade going up and down, up and down, up and down, the normal market, and then say you want to sell in this position. You want to sell in this position here. Then you place your trade, right? So what happens is you have your stop loss here, more or less, and then you have a 3-to-1 risk reward ratio. So this will be your entry point, stop loss, 2, 1, 2, 3. This will be your take profit, more or less. Okay, so this will be your TP. What happens is a lot of the times the market moves just a little bit up, take you out of the trade, and then goes back straight into your take profit, right? Which is what happened to me most of the times, and I started getting frustrated because I used to study all the strategies. I'd be like, damn, dude, I'm studying a lot. I put in work. I read the books. I read the strategies. I read pretty much all the million strategies that there is out there, and I just cannot stop losing money. You know, I may win one trade here and there, but then I lose it again, and then I win 3 trades again, and then I lose 3 trades. So it's always like this. It goes up, it goes down, goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down, and then it goes down again, then it goes up. Then I can never leave this area. Like, it always stays on break-even point, or I'm a little negative or a little bit positive, but I can never feel like I'm actually starting to grow. So what I did is, instead of just using stop loss, I still use stop loss in some of my trades. It's not like forever like this, but what I did instead was I started looking for trades, looking for my margin level rather than the financial stop loss or the stop loss manually from the trades that I use. So instead of just the market's here and I place a sell here, instead of just putting a stop loss here, I have proportional lot size, right? Which is one thing alone that you're going to have to learn. So that way I can allow the market to move up and down. And I would only stop this trade if the strategy that I'm using at that moment tells me to stop. Doesn't matter if it's here or up there or at break even or profit, or the market might go a little bit in my favor and then I close the trade partially just so I guarantee the profit here. And then if it goes back again, I stop, or I let it stay for a little longer. And it also depends if the swap is positive or negative for this specific trade. So it's more dynamic than just putting a stop loss here and then a take profit. That made me more profitable long term. I only started seeing results like this once. One of the things that I did was not using stop loss, right? And a lot of people are gonna tell you, oh, but you're crazy. You're not crazy, okay? You have to manage. There are a million ways to manage the risks, whether through stop loss or not stop loss. As long as you know what you're doing, you can still be profitable even without a stop loss. That's the only way that I was able to generate profits consistently like that. And like I said, this is a small account, but this is mirroring one of my accounts that I use, right, long term. So that way I can always be more profitable than losing, for example, right? And because I diversify my strategies in other markets as well. So not only do I have Forex trading, but I also have stocks, I also have crypto, I also have other investments, so like treasury bonds, for example. And I'm always accumulating through my work and like reinvesting every month, etc., stuff like that. I'm able to actually grow a capital over time with it. Of course, knowing the risks and not exposing myself too much to this market, right? Because Forex can be very dangerous if you expose yourself too much, too quick, too soon. So the idea is to drop the myth. All right, we're gonna drop the myth that stop loss is protecting you. Sometimes it just isn't. Sometimes stop loss is actually the reason to why you are losing most of your trades. If you go back to your history trade and you see the trades that you placed, right, alone, and then say, for example, the trades you closed at a stop loss, you were not going to close the trade, you had a proportional lot size, and then you just waited for that market to go back to break even. Most of the times, though, not all the times, because it's not always going to go back to break-even point. Okay, it's important to mention that, right? Because people think it's just that simple. It's not that simple. There's a lot more. There's a lot more than this. I'm trying to be simplistic here, but it's a lot more than that. But for the most part, generally speaking, most of the times the trades you were open, if you were not using stop loss, you would go back to break-even point. Most of the times, not every time, like I said. Okay, that makes it a little easier for you to be profitable long term. Like I said, a little easier. It's not guaranteed. It's not that simple. That's one of the pillars that I use. I use a lot more pillars than just not use a stop loss. And sometimes I occasionally have other strategies in which I use a stop loss as well. But like I said, this is a living organism, like I said, and I mix strategies. So like some of the strategies, like I have like strategy 1, I do not have stop loss, for example. So say I have 3 strategies. Strategy 1, I do not use a stop loss. Strategy 2, I use stop loss. Okay. And strategy 3, I mix no SL and SL. So I can combine and I can play around with all of the 3 strategies at the same time, right? So that I know when to use, when not to use, how to use, how far I can use it, how far I cannot use it, how far is it worth it for me to keep a trade going against my initial position until that really starts hurting me, right? Do I have any other trade that's giving me enough profits to cover up that loss at that moment? So there's a lot more questions than just put a stop loss here. And then just, oh, market's going down. Okay, I'm gonna place a buying position. And then boom, I have stop loss here and take profit there. Boom, market pulls you out of the market. Boom, go back there. Most of the times that's what happens. Or you might get it right once, but then the second time, do it again. Market's going down. Place your stop loss. Boom, the market continues and it takes you out of the game and it goes back up. And then you can never really just have this fluency of growing consistently because you're always going up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. So that thing right here actually helped me to figure out this market a lot more than just putting a take profit and a stop loss. And occasionally when I use a stop loss, I have the trailing stop, right? Which, like I said, I have partial trades that I do, that I close, right? And it's like a combination of everything rather than just doing something rigid, because I don't believe the market is rigid, okay? Now, when it comes to quant strategies, which is a whole nother thing, it's more advanced, that's the other thing. It's way more advanced. That's one thing alone. But even with the quant strategies, I still believe that the best way, in my opinion, I'm not the guy that knows everything, but in my personal opinion, after 6 years of market, I feel like it's a combination. You can use both strategies with a stop loss and without a stop loss. Okay, that was the only way. That was the only thing that made me profitable long term. Okay, during these past years, and it keeps helping me grow and understand more of the market. As you can see in the results, like just little results, but it's consistent. Okay, across 3 months. This history trade right here. So I hope you liked the video. It was a very basic video. I hope y'all like it. Let's keep studying. And remember, this is just what I do with my money. This is not financial advice. This is for educational purposes only. So you have to do things at your own risk. Okay. There's nothing guaranteed here. There's no easy money. There's no get rich quick schemes here. Okay. I'm going to always say that in all my videos, just so you know exactly what you're getting yourself into, because Forex is high risk investment and you can lose all of your investment. Okay. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.